India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. But behind this growth lies a growing concern: public debt and fiscal deficit. Today, we'll break down these economic challenges, their impact, historical lessons, and how we can overcome them. What is debt and fiscal deficit? Public debt refers to the total amount borrowed by the government from internal and external sources to finance its expenses. Fiscal deficit occurs when the government's total expenditure exceeds its total revenue, excluding borrowings. So, India's fiscal deficit in 2023-24 was about 5.9% of GDP. Meanwhile, India's public debt 155 lakh crore, which is about 81% of the GDP. So, a high fiscal deficit means that the government is spending more than it earns, and a growing public debt means future generations will have to bear the burden. So, why is this a problem? 1. Higher interest payments. Over 10 lakh crore, 40% of government revenue is spent on interest payments. Less money available for essential sectors like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Second, rising inflation. Printing money to manage debt leads to higher inflation, increasing the cost of living. Third, crowding out private investment. If the government borrows excessively, fewer funds are available for businesses and startups. Higher interest rates slow down economic growth and job creation. 4. Risk to sovereign credit ratings. So global credit agencies like Moody's, S&P assess India's credit worthiness. If public debt keeps rising, India's credit rating could be downgraded, making international borrowing more expensive. Future generations bearing the burden. Excessive borrowing today means future taxpayers must repay it through higher taxes or reduced government services. So, in simple terms, public debt isn't free money, it's a ticking time bomb if not managed well. So, how can we reduce public debt and fiscal deficit? 1. Expanding the tax base. Increasing tax complaints through stricter GST implementation. Encouraging digital transactions to track income and reduce tax evasion. 2. Reducing wasteful government spending. Cutting unnecessary subsidies that do not benefit the poor. Implementing zero-based budgeting to ensure efficient spending. Third, privatization and disinvestment. Selling stakes in loss-making public sector enterprises. Encouraging private investment in key industries to reduce government burden. Fourth, boosting economic growth. Promoting Make in India and Startup India to create jobs and increase tax revenue. Fifth, strict fiscal rules. The Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act was introduced in 2003 to control deficits. However, frequent amendments have diluted its impact. The government must stick to the target of reducing fiscal deficit to 4.5% of GDP by 2025-26. A disciplined approach to public finance will ensure long-term economic stability and growth. Public debt and fiscal deficit are serious challenges, but they can be managed with right policies and responsible governance. It's up to both policymakers and citizens to demand financial prudence. So, in the short term, reducing wasteful subsidies, improving tax complaints, encouraging digital transactions should be the way forward. And in the medium term, strengthening disinvestment strategies and focusing on economic growth through industrial policies and rationalizing government spending should be the way forward. Hence, in the long term, we can achieve fiscal deficit below 4%, ensure sustainable debt management, and also build a resilient economy. If we act now, India can maintain its growth trajectory without falling into a debt trap.